Today's the big day, buddy. Gonna get yourself a little bit of a makeover. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Really glad you're here. I thank you for clicking on the video. Today we are going to do a little bit of a replacement job on my good old buddy Donnie. If you don't know who Donnie is, Donnie happens to be the Spear RT-101 guitar that my son has gifted me for Christmas. A really nice guitar. I have a video on this guitar. Might go back and check that video out. Um, I love this guitar. It's going to be a modded platform. However, I noticed when I got this guitar that the volume knob doesn't act like volume. It acts like tone. The tone knob is a split coil or coil tap, whichever you want to say. Don't know if I mentioned that in the other video because I just got it and hadn't even completely been through it yet. I was so shell shocked that my son gave me this for Christmas. However, the volume knob is acting like a tone knob, which means when I turn it down, it's just dialing with the tone, and when you turn it all the way down, it's not shutting off. It's just like you completely scooped out all the mids and highs. So what I did was talk to a few people. A lot of people said, hey, check your ground wire on that pot. Ground wire's hooked up just fine. A lot of people said, change the pot itself. Well, that's what we're going to do. This thing was made in Indonesia, and it has those small little dime-sized pots in it. Not that I have anything against those. Those are great if you get a good quality one. When it comes to electronics on your guitar, if you don't have good quality, over time you are going to pay for it because things go bad. And when you, especially anything electronic. So this one, I've already got the knobs off and I've got the pots loose and I've got the back cover off. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to bring you guys over here and I'm going to set you up over the table, and I'm going to break out my handy dandy soldering iron that heats up to about 500 degrees, back it down to about 350. And we are going to solder a new pot on Donnie. And then after we're done, if the video doesn't go for an hour, I'm not a professional at this. So if you see mistakes, just know that I don't do this for a living. This is something that I've sort of taught myself to do, is repair my own guitars. And now I do little repairs on my son's and maybe somebody else's if they come by. So I'm going to walk you through what I do to fix a problem like this, and maybe help you out if you have the same problem with a guitar or you need to install a pot on your guitar. That way you know, and you can do your own repairs. Because one thing I learned in life, and I was taught to by a very wise man when I was growing up, was if you learn as many skills as you can, you will save tons of money down the road. And when you think about it, I worked on vehicles when I was younger. I have a knowledge of engines. I have some knowledge of guitars. I have knowledge of this. If you take this to a professional or somebody else that can do it and pay them, add up over the years how many times you paid them and what you paid them, then what happens is you start realizing you're losing a lot of money to stuff that if you would just learn that knowledge, then you would have saved. I'm not saying that anybody can do it. You may not be able to, but that's what I do, and that's why we're here today. So just hang out. Let me get you set up, and then we'll get everything going over here and let you watch me operate on Donnie. Okay guys, what we got here is, this is the volume pot right here. And this volume pot, I have looked at all the wires. Here's the ground wire. It is soldered on good, no breaks in the connection there. All of this looks good here too. I have inspected the wiring. This of course is the tone pot here. I like to tape these things out of the way. That way I don't end up doing something to them. Now most people would take the zip tie out, but I think I am going to be able to do what needs to be done without removing that zip tie. So we are going to take these wires off here, and then we are going to install this big fat boy right here, and see if we can't get this thing operational again. This is going to barely, and I mean barely, fit. They didn't make these routing holes very big. So it is going to be a task to get that in there. I have plugged it in so I could show you guys what it is doing. Uh, you can hear right here that it's got volume. You hear that? A lot of that noise is background feed from this soldering iron. But when you turn the volume all the way down, still got tone coming through it. Split coil works. You turn that, and that's what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do first, just in case, when I pull this thing out, the problem that I seen was a lot, and I mean a lot of debris and stuff was in here. And I have some CLP break free. This is a lubricant that I use on, and a cleaner that I use on a lot of my guns to clean barrels and the mechanisms in my guns. Now this stuff I love. It works on everything. Um, I am not sponsored by them. This is just something that my local gun shop had told me about that works really good on my firearms. And I use it to clean a lot of metals and a lot of stuff like that. So we're going to put a little bit just on the inside of this and see if that will help out. If not, then it's going to require us changing the pot. So we're going to work this just a little bit and see if we can get her to moving around, and we are going to move our soldering iron over here out of the way so that we don't have any sound that interferes with any of this. Let's see, turn the amp back on. It doesn't look like there's any broken connections whatsoever, which leads me to think that it's full of junk or it's just not working anymore. But this test right here will let us know. I just put a little bit in there, let it work around. Penetrating oil will get into places quicker. It'll loosen up stuff a whole lot better. So this right here is actually something that may help out. Like I said, it's happened in the past. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. So let's turn her on and see. No, that does not work. Okay, so we know that that is not going to work. So we are going to see if we can't get this thing to fit down in there. It only lags just a little. You guys, none of this is science to me. It's all trial and error. So I am just checking to see if this is the problem, which I'm thinking this will fix it. But the problem is that it is not going to fit down in there. It's just about a millimeter too wide to fit. I might be able to get it. I'm highly doubting it. Yeah, I think I can probably get that to work. And get, yeah, I think I can get that to work. Well, we're going to try it anyway. So you guys just hang out a few minutes and, or a few seconds your time, a few minutes my time. And we are going to see if I can't get this. I'm going to take a little bit off of the edge going down in there. And we are going to see if we can't get this to work. Okay, we're going to heat up solder here. And got one loose. Okay, and we're going to grab this other one. Sorry, my hands are shaky. I've mentioned before in posts that as an old man, I've contracted poly or peripheral neuropathy. It has caused me to lose some strength in some of my hands, which is the reason why these days I'm not as fast as I used to be on guitar. Uh, I don't play leads as much anymore as I used to. I'm more a rhythm player now than ever. However, I do enjoy playing music and I'm trying to struggle through it. So, uh, this is just something that I have to deal with. There we go. There we go. On off. There, okay. So we got this one loose here. All right. Okay, now let's look at this here. By the way, I've set the soldering iron to 400. Didn't seem like 350 was wanting to do the job fast enough. So we have these two and these two here. Now, I also recommend to take a picture before you do all this. I took a couple of pictures to show the wiring position and everything. So whenever I do work like this, the technology of having a cell phone is just amazed me because we can take pictures and use those pictures to go back and try and fix things, especially when it comes to wiring. And that way we know everything goes back into place where it was. So, okay, we got our ground soldered right here, made a little bit of a puddle up here to hook our ground wires to off of our wires. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of solder on these leads. That way we can heat them up, stick the wires in there, and then after they're froze, we can go back and add more solder to it. So just a little right in here, and we'll do a little right here. little more. I can't see good, so there we go. Well, the mic went dead, and this is a voiceover. Basically, right here, I have got the wires soldered up, and I am just getting things finished up. It sucks. I mean, after talking all that good stuff about technology these days and everything. But you could see here that I'm putting a little bit of solder on the wires to get them really good and seated. It's got the flux core to this solder, which works really well for this type of application. And really do think that this done an extremely well job. And it did fix the problem. So I am going to cut out of here and just go straight to the demonstration, which is next, because my outro, the sound was gone on that too. Thank you, Mr. Wireless lapel mic. I really do appreciate it. You guys have a blessed one, and I will talk to you soon. Later.